letting everybody get notified on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. So that's why we start a little bit early. Hey everybody, welcome to our pre-show, and thanks to all of our replay viewers. We're going to start the official show at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. So stand by. We have a great show for you today, coming up in just about 5 minutes or so, about 4 minutes. And we are going to talk about so much today. We're going to be talking about I Am CREST, training, Workers' Memorial Day is coming up. It's actually on Saturday, April 28th, but we're going to observe it on Monday because we're not going to observe it on a Saturday. It fell on a Saturday this year, so that's why we'll observe it this Monday down at our Wimpesinger Center in Hollywood, Maryland. And I have Delane Adams here with me, who's getting ready to tell us all the news of the day.
News of the day.
Yeah, and so thanks for
fights we have out there.
That's right, we do have a lot of fights, and you're always making phone calls, keeping on top of what's going on.
Yeah, trying to get the word out there about the good work that's happening out there in the territories. So whatever we can do to get the word out, but also to push back against these corporations that they just refuse to do the right thing.
That's right. We have to keep fighting, never give up.
Keep fighting.
Okay, I'm going to make sure our stream is going here on Facebook. Visually impaired. So they call the dogs guides. Like I'm so used to calling them service dogs, but this is the guide for the person who's blind.
Yeah. And we learned so much last week about that and about the program and what it really takes.
That's right.
You did a good job last week.
One of our guests last week was Michelle Plunkett from Virginia, and she is a physics teacher, a high school physics teacher. And I have a Jeep, so I was wondering, like, is the dog going to be in the front seat? Is she going to be in the back? Is the dog going to be in the back? Is she going to be in the front? I looked at my front seat, and I kept saying, there's no way that this dog is going to be able to fit in front of the front seat. Do you know the dog got in, curled up, she got in, put her legs right there. That dog fit in that front seat. So I wanted to keep them together. I didn't want to separate them. So I did learn a lot. And I know we have about a minute left, but did you know, and I don't want to get too graphic here, but someone once asked, and this is something a kid would ask, is how do they pick up after their dogs if they can't see where they poop? So she said that while the dog's going to the bathroom, they feel their back. And if it's a straight back, she knows they're peeing. But if they're like squatted, they're pooping. So when they're done, she, I guess, runs her hand down the back leg, the right leg, and then she either pushes forward or back, and it's right there. Like 9 times out of 10, it's right there.
Wow. See, this is why I sit in this chair, just to learn something like that every day.
It's amazing, the questions that we have. But you never know unless you ask, right?
No.
So.
No, it's a great program. I'm glad that, it's our favorite charity and, got a lot to learn from our time in Vegas when we went out there to see that big presentation.
That's right. Okay, so it's almost 3 o'clock. In about 10 seconds, we're going to start the show. Valana Cochran came in, and she is our camera person, and we're going to go. It's 3 o'clock.
All right.
Activate your voice!
Fight for your right.
Speak up.
Speak out. We're Union and we're proud.
Go Union.
Live from Maryland, this is Activate Live!
Welcome to Activate Live, the show that helps us to activate our voices as working people joining together in union. My fellow communications representative, Delane Adams, is here to fill us in on what's going on news-wise. I'm Tanya Hutchins. Delane, we're both communications reps. So glad you're here to join us. So what's going on?
Well, we have 31 members at Local 818 that are still out on strike. This is their 3rd week. Technocap is the company, and they refuse to bargain.
This is in West Virginia, right?
In West Virginia, right outside of Wheeling, West Virginia. They're right around Glendale. I believe it's Glendale, West Virginia. So they're holding strong. 31 members. People have been showing their support from the community, government officials. You see some of the pictures there. And if there's anything we can do right there, listening out there now by showing our support, you see that at the W3 Center. People are standing in solidarity with the sign. But if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, please leave a comment that you stand with Local 818. So they're, again, their third week of being on strike, and we hope that the company bargains, and we hope they do the right thing.
That's right, and we have a lot of support. We've been hearing on social media already from all across the country. So
yeah, and that's been it's been good to see that type of support. And you heard from District 54. All the great work they're doing. Communications rep in the territory, John Carr, they're doing a lot of work, and the 31 members are standing strong. So we want to pledge our support and solidarity for them.
okay, thanks for keeping us up to date on that.
Yeah. And then in Wellsville, New York, nearly 250 members have ratified an effects agreement. Basically, that effects agreement basically spells out their compensation for before the plant closes and after the closure.
Yeah, we have a picture of the gate there at Dresser Rand.
We do, but the fight is still on. Congressman Tom Reed from that area has pledged to work with the New York Senate delegation, Senator Schumer, Senator Gillibrand, and also with us in order to keep the facility open. So DBR Ron Warner and that whole crew out there, they're working very hard, and we haven't given up yet. And we're still battling to make sure we can keep that facility open. And a big shout out to the legislative team for the work they're doing and making sure that we have those type of relationships in order to, make sure that our members understand what we're doing out there.
And I think it's always important for us to make sure that everyone's voice is heard,
Yes.
Even to the end, because you
Even
never
to the
know
end.
what could happen.
Yeah, you never know. Things can change. Elections can change. You never know.
That's right.
So, but we have some good news. We want to welcome. You see the graphic, 2,400 new members to the IAM.
Ooh, all right.
Yes. So at Spectrum Healthcare, and it includes, again, it's 2,400 new members, 2,000 which are personnel support workers, and 400 are registered nurses. And this is in Ontario, in the Greater Toronto area. So 2,400 new members, and we're, putting our footprint in the healthcare industry, and that's part of our new organizing initiative. So very proud of the work that's being done in Canada, but also in our organizing department for bringing all this together. And again, I want to say, we read places that this is probably one of the biggest wins and biggest membership gains in IAM history in probably the past 10 years.
That's wonderful. So welcome to all of our new members.
Yes, welcome. Welcome to your union.
All right.
So
Thanks so much, Elaine. We appreciate it.
thanks. I'll see you next week.
And the best way for you to stay on top of what's happening with the Machinists Union is to sign up for iMail, our twice-weekly electronic newsletter that's emailed straight to your inbox. So you'll stay connected when it comes to Inside IAM News and get the first word on our events. So spread the word at your local lodge meeting or district lodge meeting. You can even mention it at your state council meeting. Just go to goiam.org to sign up. That's goiam.org. Well, plant closures are never easy to deal with. They affect not only the workers, but entire communities. The IAM provides an outreach program for plant closing to help with the transition. And joining us now is Outreach Coordinator Arnett Powell, who is just back from Red River Army Depot in Texas. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So how are our members doing out there?
Can I give some shout-outs?
Sure, go for it.
I want to give a shout-out to Southern Territory Grand Lodge Rep Valerie Rodriguez. She does a tremendous work. She truly goes above and beyond for Local 1243 out there. She was accommodating for me, hauling all the laptops to and from the site, so that was great to have her help. Also, their assistant district business rep Melanie out there, they make a rock star team out there. So these two, they play a tremendous role in supporting 1243. And then, of course, Mark, the president, for making a request for the training. So I think that was a good call. So I just want to do those three shout-outs.
No problem.
Before jumping into it.
So what is that
yeah.
the process that someone has to request the training?
Yes. They should make the request on a local level. Then it makes its way up to Jim Reed, our director of CREST, apprenticeship, safety and health, and scholarship. So
Now, for everyone out there that may not be part of the IM, tell us what CREST stands for, first of all.
Corporation for Reemployment Safety Training.
Okay, and when you were down there, what did your training entail?
The objective of the training was to provide job preparation skills for the 21st century job market, and that was resume writing, cover letter writing, just strategies to approach that, interviewing techniques. We also got into job search, what are the tools that are out there, the best ways to go about that. We covered budgeting basics. We didn't get too deep into it, but obviously when you're dealing with a layoff situation, you got to look at the hard numbers, take a look at budgeting. We did touch on COBRA, essential information that they need to know to consider COBRA. Actually, part of the training is this manual.
Yeah,
This
you can
way?
hold it up.
Hold
Yep,
it up.
that's
There we
great.
go.
Okay.
So that manual came from our department. A lot of resources went into developing this training and this manual. I personally can vouch for it. Put in hours to make sure that it was done, and the training is updated as much as possible. We also got assistance from TCU, their curriculum person out there, Joel Hernandez, provided a whole bunch of information. So I went out there with 3 goals. Training was one. One was to make sure that they understand that the headquarters from top all the way down to the little guys like me are kind of hands-on, doing everything we can to make sure that we're supporting the situation. And then the last goal was to give them a rock-solid list of some options they can consider post a layoff. Actually, got his name here, Joe Conkleton was a member down there. He came through. We provided him a flyer of a job fair that was happening in Dallas. He went there and got hired.
That's great.
Yeah, on the spot. So, so we just wanted to make sure we gave them as many resources as possible and showed them that we're supporting them through this as we fight, of course, to try to reverse the decision.
It means so much when you have people that are fighting for you and that care.
Yeah.
Really care, and you're
Absolutely.
not left on your own.
Absolutely.
What are some of the things that you want workers to know or to keep in mind as they go through a plant closure?
I think it's important to not have a fixed mindset. Don't look at this as, well, this is it for me. Have a flexible mindset and a growth mindset. In other words, look at this as an opportunity to take advantage of resources that the union provides. If I'm out there doing a training, show up and come. I'd love to help get the resume together and up to date. The other thing I would mention, I'm sorry, I wrote it down here, is important. Keep the resume to one page.
I always try to do that.
Yeah, it's very important. Hiring managers don't have much time, so you keeping it to one page and keep all important information in a way that they can quickly see it will probably help you throughout the process. So
I know a lot of people probably think, I have to squeeze all of this in, and they probably, cut down the type size, the font size, but yeah, you can take things off of your resume that may not be relevant to that job.
Absolutely.
That was my theory anyway. So.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You want to target it to the job you're going for.
That's great. How can members get more information if they need more information on this, resource manual, or if they'd like to get in touch with your department?
Well, you can start goim.org. Our department's up there, so that's a good source. And you can actually contact us.
And if you go at the top of the page, I think you hit on departments, correct?
Right, departments, and then you'll see safety and health and CREST.
Okay.
I believe our phone number is up there.
Okay.
I know that Closure Watch is in the makings, but at some point that will be a place that's resource for workers that are dealing with layoffs. And of course, just make the request through the local. They get in touch with Jim Reed, and that's another way of getting more information.
Is there anything else you'd like to mention that we haven't touched upon yet? Anything you were hearing from any of the workers down there?
It's just the raw emotions, a lot of raw emotions, a lot of frustration with the depot, political.
We love your comments. We have people joining us already. So thank you to people who are already joining us and commenting. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, you can just hit the reply button. And on YouTube, you can use live chat as well. Well, this Saturday is Workers' Memorial Day in the United States and National Day of Mourning in Canada. Traditionally, the day is always April 28th, but this year, because it falls on a Saturday, we are observing it on Monday, April 30th, with our annual ceremony in Hollywood, Maryland. And joining us now to tell us more about this annual tradition is IAM CREST Project Coordinator and Instructor Teri McClendon, who is going to tell us all about Workers' Memorial Day. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you, Tanya, for inviting me.
Now, I've seen you for quite a few years down in Hollywood, Maryland, at the ceremony that takes place. First, tell us a little bit about what Workers' Memorial Day is and why it exists.
Workers' Memorial Day is about honoring our members that have fallen, mostly the ones that have fallen from injuries, fatalities, illnesses on the job. We also have special remembrances for retirees mostly that have, after their service and they've retired, they're enjoying their life, and when they pass also we recognize them.
Recognize them for all their hard work over the years.
Right.
Some have put in 30, 40, 50 years.
50 years. We had one this year that he died after his 100th birthday.
Wow.
So you can imagine how much time. He was in the field for 72 years, I think it was.
That's amazing.
Right.
What a life. Well, we know that probably one of the most important things on the job is worker safety. And we actually have some statistics that we could put up on the screen there, which I meant to tell you we were going to do this. But it says on average 150 workers die each day from job-related injuries and illnesses. I don't think people realize that, do they?
I don't think people do realize that either. In 1970, the Occupational Safety and Health Act was enacted. And that was, 17 years ago?
Yeah.
And that was to make sure that workers, all men and women, anyone in the workplace that's covered by OSHA, is protected and should be able to feel comfortable and safe in their workplace. They should feel that they're going to go home the same way as if the way they came to work that day. And there's been a lot of changes. There's a lot less fatalities, a lot less injuries and illnesses occurring since this went into being. However,
Yeah, look at this read that one stat from 2016. That one, nearly 5,200 workers
5,200,
killed on the job, and the highest number of workplace deaths in years. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of people.
It really is. And if you think about the statistics or the dynamics of what's happening now, the current administration is pulling back and repealing and doing everything they can to roll back a lot of the hard-fought regulations and things that have been put in place. We fought really hard to protect workers from, make sure that workers are protected from the hazards that they're exposed to in the workplace, such as silica dusts, beryllium. Matter of fact, right now, one of the things that we've really been fighting hard is we need standards for violence in the workplace and infectious diseases. But the current administration is trying to make it so that those things are not enacted or they're rolled back or
I can't
just
imagine
gotten rid of.
anybody not wanting to make a workplace safe
You're right.
and trying
You're
to make it as
exactly
easy
right.
as possible.
You're right. And you think about this day that's coming up, Workers' Memorial Day, it's something that is to honor those that have given the ultimate, their lives for just going to work, doing, the occupation that they were hired to do. I personally feel that if we're not going to honor them, how will they be honored? So that's why it's important to me that we do the Workers' Memorial celebration or service every year.
What is your safety message to our members who will be going to work, or they may be at work right now?
Be vigilant. There are things in place to try to protect our members when they're at work. However, you have to remember, you have to protect yourself and protect those that you work with. You have to take that extra step to make sure that you are doing the right thing and are trying to do, are being protected.
Now, we have a number of people who are being honored this year, and you said there are two sections, the fallen members, and then we have special remembrances. We have some pictures of some of the people as well that we could put up on the screen. But how many people are being honored in terms of fallen members
The
this
fallen
year?
members are the ones that actually lost their lives on the job through the last Workers' Memorial Day, April 28th, 2017. So we have 8 people that have fallen. The most recent one was in March. I think it was the end of March.
Yeah, and I know we have them. I don't think I'm reading in the right order, but here they are up on the screen. We have Sammy Barnett from Local Lodge 839. Is Alan Bacchini from Local Lodge 175. Stephen Morales from Local Lodge 447. Those are just 3 people who are being honored. Also, Martin Rivera Lira from Local Lodge 2600. And Harold Pinder. We don't have a picture of Harold, but we do want to mention him. Is that a Transportation Lodge 6633?
That, I think, is one of the NEFI kind of lodges.
Gotcha.
Right.
And then Jeffrey Troy is one of our fallen members from Local Lodge 2789. And Herman Webb from Local Lodge 6185. So I think it helps to definitely put some faces to these names on Workers' Memorial Day. Tell us what the ceremony will be like for anybody who's never been.
It's a beautiful, serene, and peaceful ceremony. It starts, this year's going to be starting at 11 o'clock. And
Eastern
everybody,
time, 11 o'clock Eastern time, right.
And everyone that's going to be at the Whippin Senior Center taking classes, the end is going to be full, so there's going to be a lot of people there, which is a good thing. Are invited, and family members are invited to come to the service. But before the service starts, we have music, which is bagpipe music, very peaceful, playing as people file in. We have this year 8 people that are guests of family members that have lost their lives, and they'll be shown to their seats and everything. It'll start with a presentation from keynote speaker will be the GST, Doris Cervantes, and our own communications representative, former communications representative, Cornell Dunmore, will be doing the prayers for the service.
That's great.
There'll be some speaking, but the highlight of the service is when we call the name of the fallen member, and then there's a chime of a bell, and the whole time in the background playing real peacefully and quiet will be Amazing Grace. And then we'll end with a prayer also again from Senior Pastor Cornell Dunmore.
You're right. It's a very peaceful service, a very serene service, and I think it means a lot to the family members. And last year we actually live streamed it, so we're going to try to do that again for the family members that can't be there. I know, technology isn't perfect, so we are going to try because it is in a place that doesn't have the best cell coverage, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we can get that ceremony out, especially to people that are on the West Coast. So
we really appreciate everything you do. Your group has always been so wonderful with doing these things, and the members or the family members always say how much they appreciate being able to see and letting other family members know they can watch it, what you've done. And
well, thank you. We know it'll be very early on the West Coast. I think it'll be 8 a.m. Pacific time. So hopefully everything will go smoothly. I know it will, but we just think this is so important, and we're so happy that you came by to let us know. Anything else you'd like to mention that we didn't mention about the service that will take place on Monday?
Sure. If anyone is interested in how to get information or to provide information, get bricks, whatever, just like what Arnett said, you can go to our website, Safety and Health Department, and there's an icon, that Workers Memorial, that pops up, and just go to that. The forms are there. If they have any questions, need any other help, they can always contact our office. And just talk to us.
And that's right, we didn't really talk about the bricks because at the memorial, there are bricks all on the ground with names of locals and messages that are in memoriam of the people who have passed away.
Right. Actually, the dedication of the memorial, which is pretty important, was in 2001. And we had 197 bricks introduced in the initial dedication. And it's been expanded once. It's on the verge of needing to be expanded again, because since we dedicated the memorial, there's always been bricks. Some of both IPs, international presidents, have said, we look forward to the day when we don't have to put another brick in the memorial. And unfortunately, we have every year had to add bricks to the memorial. And but it's the best part also, because when guests come and the participants in the classes throughout the year, when they come to the Whippensinger Center, if they have someone that has gone, they've lost from their local lodge or district, they can go and have a peaceful moment and look at the memorial, the bricks there.
And some of them actually take paper and trace the bricks.
Right. We always provide tracing paper. One thing, we have roses, white roses that go on the current bricks that we put in. So this year we're going to be putting in 25 roses on bricks. And after the ceremony, it's a real good opportunity for the guests to have another special moment with their fallen member, family member, where we do provide tracing paper and chalk or charcoal so they can trace the bricks. And a lot of people have said they take them home, they frame them, but they have something. They can take something back from what we've done for their fallen members. And it's our pleasure to be able to do that for them.
Well, it's so important, such an honor, and we appreciate you stopping by to tell us all about it.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. And as we said before, we will have full coverage of the ceremony at the Whippensinger Center in Hollywood, Maryland. It'll start at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 11 a.m. Eastern Time, so that'll be 8 a.m. Pacific out on the West Coast. And we are going to try to bring this to you live with that full coverage. So make sure that you check the Facebook page. Look for a video later on YouTube. And you too can join the conversation right now. Let us know how you promote safety on the job. You can never be too safe, no matter what job you are doing. So join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter. You can even do live chat on YouTube. Well, it is International Guide Dog Day, and we have a message.
Happy International Guide Dogs Day from the Machinists Union.
Today is International Guide Dog Day, a day that's special to us at the Machinists Union because the IAM helped to found the International Guiding Eyes program, which is now called Guide Dogs of America. A retired machinist was turned away from several organizations in the late 1940s, so GDA was born. And joining us now to talk about how important this organization is and how we can help to fundraise are Jaime Colburn and Kelly Peterson, who are active in these efforts, and they join us now in the studio. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Now, you had a 5K walk and run that was last Saturday or the Saturday before?
It was the 14th.
Yes. The 14th. How did that go?
It went really good.
It was awesome.
It went better than last year. So we had one last year. It was our first year having the 5K. And we raised $8,400.
That's incredible. More than $8,000. And you said you had vendors as well?
We had about 7 vendors and about 80 participants.
A food truck. We had live music. We had a workout guy there to do the cool down and warm up before the race. So it was very, very good.
Now, this is just one event that you have throughout the year. Tell us about some of the other events that you do here at headquarters to try and raise money for Guide Dogs of America.
We have jeans days pretty much every Friday, so you can do a donation of $5 if you want to wear your...
They both have jeans on, so.
And our guide dog shirts.
And the Guide Dog shirts. These are great.
Thank you, Beth.
Oh, speaking of shirts, at your walk and run, we had this shirt that said, I am fit. And I love it because it's my favorite color, yellow. And on the back, it was saying, run for the dogs, 5K run and walk. So they have T-shirts all over the country. There are IAM members that are making T-shirts that are similar to this when they do their fundraisers. I love this one.
And Image Point was so nice to donate 200 shirts to us
Yes.
for this
Thank
event.
you, Image Point. That is wonderful.
And they did it last year too, so.
So do you have any advice for any locals or districts that are trying to think of ways to fundraise?
I think any idea is a good idea. You just have to get out there and try it. We brainstorm all year round. Thank God that we have a wonderful general secretary treasurer that supports us, Doris Vantes. She lets us throw out ideas to her.
Any idea we come up
Yes,
with, she's
it's
like, go
never
for it,
bad.
girls. So she's really supportive of us.
Oh, that's excellent.
But we think like Jersey Days, you could ask for donations for Jersey Days, bake sales,
Yes.
Lunches.
Raffles, 50/50s, we do them all the time. Any donations we get, we try to raffle off. Everybody's bringing us stuff, so we just try to make money every time we get something in a different, creative way.
I think people love food, so anything with food.
Oh yeah,
When you mentioned
food,
bake
food and
sales,
jeans are
Yes.
the best thing.
taco nights,
Yeah.
Yes.
chili cook-offs.
Actually, May 4th, we're doing a taco lunch, so.
Yes.
See, that's right. And did you have a name for it, like taco?
Well,
Tuesday,
it's like
but-
Cinco de Mayo on the 5th, so we did it on the 4th.
Taco Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, see, that's a great one. That
Yeah.
should get a lot of people out.
Yes.
And we actually have a picture, I think, from when you two were both at the 5K with one of the winners that was there. There you are. So you have the shirts on, the winner's there, and got a medal.
And those were
Yes.
donated from a trophy place in Leonardtown, so everything that we received, we got donations and great sponsors and
Oh,
a
that's
lot of
wonderful.
support.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's nice to get support from the community if they're willing to donate. And I wanted to show everybody also, thinking of raising money, Guide Dogs of America actually has this adorable calendar with, they're just adorable puppies and dogs inside, lots of pictures. And the proceeds from this go to Guide Dogs of America. It's like a tongue twister. Yeah, the proceeds benefit Guide Dogs of America. This was produced by the South Bay Puppy Raisers. So these calendars are still available. You know, I know we're almost halfway through the year, not yet, but you know, people can still purchase them. And this is a great way to support Guide Dogs of America. So I got that in this week. I forgot to mention it last week about the puppy calendar there for Guide Dogs of America. Anything else you want to say to people, especially about how it makes you feel, knowing that you're giving to such a great organization?
Oh, it's a great feeling. And we, for once, got to meet Teresa Blevins last week. She came in with her guide dog, and we got to see, you know, what all the dog can do. And they know left, right, they know the sink, they know the doorways. And we had no idea how much they really knew.
Yeah.
It is just amazing, the training that goes into that. I mean, teaching your dog left, right, find the bathroom, find the stairs, find the elevator. They're putting their paws on stuff to let her know that it's there. It's just amazing. And to see how much it just changed her life and just to hear her story.
And they can
it's so
live like a
touching.
normal life.
That's right. There's such independence. I remember speaking to one person who told me that he was so happy to be able to walk fast again and feel the wind on his face, because before, when he had his cane, he was just so cautious.
Oh, yeah.
So it really, you know, they're the guides. They changed their lives.
So it's a good
Yes.
feeling when you can change somebody's life.
It really is.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having us.
We appreciate it. Keep us up to date on everything and then what we can do to
certainly
help.
will.
That is wonderful. And I know that we had a lot of people commenting about Guide Dogs of America and people watching. Puppy raisers were watching last week, so I'm sure they'll watch again this week and comment. For more information, you can comment and share as well on Facebook and Twitter and on YouTube live chat. For more information or to donate, you can go to guidedogsofamerica.org. We also have information on our website, but this is the Guide Dogs of America website. Again, that's guidedogsofamerica.org, and in the upper right-hand corner, you can click that donate button. It looks blue right now. Once you click on it, see it turned red. Look at that face. How could you ignore that face? You can donate any amount you want, the ones that are listed there or other, and you can really change people's lives. So we have all the information on our website as well, and we're so glad that all of you who have joined the conversation by commenting and let us know what you think, whether you have raised a guide dog or volunteered for Guide Dogs of America, and what have been some of your best fundraisers. Share that with other people on Facebook so we can share information and get ideas about what works for you when it comes to giving back to charity, because we are getting justice on the job, but also service to the community, and this is part of our service to the community. So let us know on Facebook and Twitter, or use live chat on YouTube. So today at noon, April 25th at noon, was the deadline to apply for Build by USA's Make It in the USA video contest, and we hope the contest was flooded with union member entries, and we'll keep you up to date on who won the union category. There was a category just for union members. Winners will be announced on June 1st, so we will remind you about that. It'd be awesome if it was an IAM member. And we'd also like to give a shout out to the students currently taking classes at the Wimpesinger Center. The Hazmat class is taking place this week, along with Leadership 1. Next week is Political Education. The Young Workers Program takes place May 6th to the 11th, along with Communications and Leadership. And the deadline for the Safety and Health Conference is June 1st. Registration is now open. The conference itself takes place in August. And we're going to have a special edition of Activate Live May 10th at 7 p.m. That's a Thursday, and all of the students taking classes at the Wimpesinger Center will be in our studio audience. So mark your calendars for that. Special edition of Activate Live, Thursday, May 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern. As far as our meetings go, the North Carolina State Council of Machinists meets this weekend in Pine Knoll Shores. The Oregon Council has its annual crab feed this Saturday in Astoria. And the New York State Council meeting starts Sunday in Niagara Falls. As far as our special events go, the Legislative Conference is May 7th to the 9th, 3 days. We hope to bring you some of that live as well. The TCU IAM Convention is scheduled for July 24th to the 26th in Las Vegas. And next week we will also preview the Legislative Conference, tell you why it exists and what to expect. And the IAM Aerospace Conference is taking place in Fort Worth, Texas, September 11th to the 14th. So that's the Aerospace Conference in Fort Worth, September 11th to the 14th. Don't forget to comment on today's show and let us know what you think about any of the topics that we've covered. And before we leave, we just want to give you a reminder to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page by hitting the red subscribe button on YouTube. People are already doing it, and we thank you for that. Thanks to all who have already done so as well. Now, I am looking at my computer, and I've been checking it the entire show, and I see a big gray screen where all the comments are, because normally I say hey to all the people that join. So I don't really see it right now. That's why I haven't said hi to anybody. Bob, you want me to give a shout out to anybody? We're going to check real quick before we say goodbye. And I'm actually going to hit, let me refresh this and see what happens. See how it's like gray? Mm-hmm. Ooh, they popped up. Okay, here's my last chance to say hey to people, okay? So, Erlene Daniels says, hello, sisters. Rhonda Rogers said she loved the T-shirts there. Nicole Fears saying, Atlanta Ramp Campaign checking in. Brian Collis, every week he says, woohoo! I say woohoo too. James Powell, hello to you in Local Lodge 2003. We thank you, James. And we also want to thank, let me see who this is. There are people that are already sharing this webcast, so thank you very much. Okay, I just wanted to mention everybody who had joined us so far. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That is it for this edition of Activate Live. So activate your voice in your union and in your community. And we leave you now with photos of the Guide Dogs of America service dogs who are changing lives. They are the guides. Thank you.